All right, welcome back. This is MDawg, and we are fishing here on the Norwegian Sea. And I've got two setups to try, one for down here at 41 and down one up here at 30. Down here at 41, we're going to be trying the flying collar rig. One of those situations where if you want to do the marine challenge, you have to catch a trophy flatfish on the flying collar rig, and we don't ever try, we're certainly not going to ever do it. So I hear that, you at least have a shot down here at the moment. Often that is the case, 34 or 41. There will be moments where you do have a chance. Now we've got a couple options with the flying collar rig. The one option is to do what we're doing right now, which is just to let it sit on the bottom. You do want to get that sitting in the bottom message, which for whatever reason we don't have at the moment, but once we do get that, there we go. You can just let it sit there. Another option is if you do want to sort of jig it up and down a little bit, sometimes it seems like that movement, occasional movement, would be helpful. You're not going to get perking or anything like that on a flying collar rig, at least not that I'm aware of, but just moving it around some seems to be a good way to get a little more activity. The third option actually is you can troll. You can troll around with it. You've got a heavy enough weight in which obviously we could put even heavier than this. We can get a bigger boat rod. We have to use one of our bigger boat rods, but we can put a much heavier weight than that, which the heavier the weight, the closer it will stay to the bottom even while you're trolling. So I'm going to let it kind of sit here. It's still a little early. I tend to have a little better success in the evening on these. So I'm going to let it sit here, and I will certainly keep you updated if we start catching anything on this. All right, we did get a bite here. So we'll see what this is. I am already setting up my larger boat rod as I'm waiting for a bite to potentially, in case we want to do a little bit of trolling back and forth, just see how that works in comparison to kind of letting it sit here. Might as well try both ways and see if either one seems to be working better than the other. First fish is a safe, which I think there are quite a few safe down here at 41 at the moment. This seems to be the safe farm spot at the moment. All right, second fish. Potentially another safe. Let's see. Let's see if we can try a little trolling after this. Once it gets to actually be nighttime, we will hope that we start seeing some flatfish come in. And we're 2 for 2 on 3 kilo safe, basically. All right, let's take this flying worm off. We know that's the one that we want to try right now. And let's put this one out here. We're going to use a really heavy sinker. We'll use that same flying worm. So this is a different setup. It's a larger boat rod, so we can get a little heavier test there and kind of go this way, and we'll turn around pretty quick and go the other way. But let's see how this works. So we are currently trolling, so all we're going to do is cast this out right here beside us. It will drop pretty fast to the bottom with such a heavy weight on there. And then we're going to try to keep it in the bottom layer as we troll forwards. And we'll see how the bite rate is doing this compared to just sitting still and keep it in the bottom layer that way. Every once in a while, probably ought to move it around to keep it active. There we go. There's a bite. Nope. It bounced off. You know what? I must have hit something. We're actually not trolling forward. It's interesting. The engine is still running, but I must have stopped the trolling. And because our hands are full with having the rod out, the line down, we can't start trolling. We have to bring this up, and then we can start trolling. Let's see where we are. Yeah, we'll go just a little farther in this direction. Okay, now we're trolling. This works this time. I guess I need to be careful what I hit. Let's see how well this stays on the bottom here. A little bit of wind, but not much. You already have the movement in the bottom layer from, oh, there we go, from just the current. And then we're just adding a slight bit more movement when we start moving forward on the troll. So as long as it's not too big a fish that we need to move, in fact, we can jump out. I mean, we're still trolling forward even though we're out of the seat here. But as long as the fish isn't too big, we can just keep trolling and then throw it right back out and do it again. This is a flatfish, so this is sort of promising. This is kind of what we're looking for here, right? Now let's see where we are on the map. We don't want to go too much farther. I'm going to try it one more time before we want to basically turn around. Start heading up the other way. In fact, we can start turning a little bit perhaps. All right, it's on the bottom. There we go. I am actively turning left, by the way, as we're doing this, just to get us heading, you know, in a slightly different direction. So if I look straight ahead now, we've turned that much, basically. And we may just be able to turn all the way around, I guess. Get heading in the direction we want to head while still fishing with this in the bottom layer. We're getting there. Try to stay with you until we at least get one more bite, and then I'll kind of keep you updated like I did before. We'll maybe try to do this through some of the overnight at least, see if we can get a couple nice flatfish. Never know. One of these times you might just get lucky and hit the trophy. All right, let's see where we are. Yeah, we've turned pretty far around. In fact, I think some people that do trolling like this with the flying collar, and maybe with other rigs as well, they actually mostly just do circles, kind of stay in the same area generally, and sort of do circles as they're going. See, there's some fish on the sonar right below us, but we hope that something exciting could happen here. Okay. Like it here, so let's just keep moving forward a little bit. Perhaps, yeah, I don't know. Like now we're heading into the wind now, but we're moving a little faster than we were before. All right, there we go. well, small fish. We'll take it, I suppose. Let's see. We've moved a little ways, not a lot. Again, I just don't know. Is this better, or is kind of sitting in the same general area and letting just the regular current drift better? Let's see what type of fish this is. Little sculpin. I think that's mostly what we're going to catch in the middle of the night, are flatfish and sculpin. Alright, there we go. Yeah, let's see. Where are we? Yeah, we've almost made it up to this top here of this left side. I don't know. I mean, we're catching fish. I don't know that trolling, it feels like it's any better bite rate than letting it just sit. In fact, I might go ahead and stop the engine. I might try this next one just sitting again. Kind of where we are, but let's see what this is. Just a little safe. Ooh, one shot with a trophy rough. Alright, so letting it just sit there. Took about the same amount of time to get a bite. You know, this is like why it's hard to get a good farm on the flying collar rig. But, you know, catch 4 or 5 fish overnight. Fine. And you just hope that one of them is flat and a trophy. Just like that, but much bigger. Alright, so welcome back. We will finish up here on the second spot that I wanted to check for this video, and that is the 30-meter hole here. And actually, I think I'm supposed to be a little north of the number. We'll try this here. So we are using the blue lurker, as you see, and then 3 of these natural shrimp 7.503. We probably want them to be somewhere around 15 to 20 meters. And then we're just going to do some perking and see if any of the small fish are active. The idea is that you've got a reasonable shot at herring in this spot. Now we'll see if that ends up being the case, if we get lucky and find any herring, but I'm going to move up just a little further north. But that's at least the idea in this spot. 30 is a pretty small area, so we'll probably have to move a good bit if we want to try to intentionally fish this one spot, but let's just see how things are looking. We're going to let it sink to about 20, and then we'll stop it and do a little perking. Then we can come back up a little bit as we need to. Something dropped off there. Okay, it's another sorry, which we definitely don't mind. But again, we're hoping that we find some Here's what we caught out at the other spot. The best fish we caught down there on the flying worm was really the lumpfish. We had some other stuff as well, but that lumpfish was the... What in the world? That lumpfish was the best fish we had. I guess this is just a safe, but man, it hit hard. What are we running here? 60? Yeah. A decent little safe, I would imagine. Hard as that sucker hit. It's a real nice safe. Okay. All right, where are we? Yeah, we're still in a decent spot. The longer we let it drop, the more likely we're going to catch something on the drop, which I just wonder. I mean, we could get a herring that way. We also could get more safe that way. I think if we can land it right there around 20 to 15 and get it perking, that's probably our best bet to see if we see any herring. It's interesting because if this was 34, the sorry would be so active, I think, today that we would catch them very quickly. See what this is. A little pollock, okay. Yeah, if the pollock are here, they do love the shrimp as well. I was just thinking, like, okay, are there mackerel here or not? All right, so let's see what this is on the drop. Nice sorry. Again, that's, I mean, if you catch a nice bite rate, which this doesn't seem to be a good enough bite rate for what I'm talking about, but if you have sorry and they're biting like this fast, like they have the last couple seconds, that is incredible silver. I don't know what's happening, but all of a sudden we're getting fish on the drop every time. There it is. So that's pretty quick. You know, that's pretty quick. Like herring on command to catch one that fast. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 fish in, we hit our first herring. That's pretty good. That's usually the hard part. Usually it's like really tough to target them. You might only see 1 or 2 a day. So when you hit a spot where they're biting more often than that, just gives you that little bit better chance of hitting a trophy. They're also, worth lots of XP and silver, so just in general, good to catch them. There's a safe. I was very lucky. Soon after they came out, I had this beauty on 6.503, and that was a lot of fun and quite a surprise. Again, just complete luck. I'd say sorry, just how small it is. Sorry, sardine, something like that. All right, we'll sit here and fish these for a couple more minutes, and then I'll update you on how we're doing. Okay, so to wrap this up, we're actually about to get spawned back to town, which is fine. We did get a second herring, just a couple minutes after the first. So 2 herring in whatever 15 minutes or whatever seems like a pretty good rate to me. So if you're wanting to target the herring, this is probably a pretty good opportunity. Again, we've been up here at around 30. I like the bite rate better when I was on the number or just north of the number. Just the general bite rate, things have kind of changed a little bit since we drifted south. I didn't reposition. I kind of wanted to see what the bite rate would be like, but pretty good mix of different fish down there, but the one we're really going for there is herring. Let's look at everything by price. That lumpfish is the best. You see the sorry, man, they just really add up. Here's a herring. It's just the small herring, so these are only 8 silver a piece. But still pretty good fish and pretty good fishing overall. So we just got a little bit of fishing in, a couple different spots, hit some herring up at 30, and then a little experimenting with the flying collar rig, but we'll just have to live to fish another day trying to get that trophy. I don't know if I ever showed you the challenge for that, but under marine fishing, stage 4, part 2, you got to catch one of these 4 fish, trophy size, on the flying collar. And for some people that has been, they've been able to do it relatively painlessly. And then for others, it's taken a lot of hours. I've had people come in my stream and telling me pretty dramatic stories about how many fish they've caught on that rig and either still not having a trophy or finally did have a trophy. So that can be an adventure for sure. All right. As always, thanks for watching. Tight lines. I'll see you next time.